Hello friends and welcome back. In today's lecture we will learn how we can print message on console window. So here is our outline for today's lecture. We will discuss header file and why we need to use header file in C programming language. And after that we will discuss function in briefly and understand why the main function is very important in every C program. Comment, we will discuss what comment is and why comment is used for. And finally write a program that prints hello on the console window. And this is our first program. The reason behind printing hello world is that this is very simple program and also this program gives you the positive feedback that you are used the compiler correctly. So let's start with the comment. A comment is a text that is ignored by the compiler. So inside the C code, we can write somewhere that is not considered a part of comment. They will not affect the compilation and the execution of the program. Now the common question that pops up in our mind is, why do we use comments? So comments are used to write note for yourself or for other who will see your program in future. Or you can say comments are hints that a programmer can add to make their code easier to read and understand. There are two different ways to write comments in C program. First is using double slash and second is slash asterisk asterisk slash. Double slash is called as a single line comment. The reason behind this, after double slash we write anything that is considered a part of comment, and if we write something in the next line, then that is considered a part of C code, not a comment. On the other hand, inside the asterisk symbol, if we write any number of lines, all those lines are considered a part of comment, not a C code. And this is why it is also known as multiple line comment. We will talk about comments later in detail. For now, this is enough to know. Now let's see how we can write comments in our program. See, this line starts with double slash, means compiler treats this line like a comment. And note that this is a single line comment, because this line starts with the double slash, right? As you can see here, I am writing, in this program we will print hello world. It means compiler ignores this line at the time of execution. And if I write anything in the next line, suppose I am writing here hash include. See, this is a preprocessor, stdio.h, this line not a comment. Now, what is preprocessor? See, the job of a preprocessor is to replace the textual content with the actual file, and preprocessor always start with the hash symbol. We simply write hash include stdio.h in our program, but preprocessor actually replaces this line with the actual file. Previously we had the source code, that code we write in our IDE or in text editor, and preprocessor convert this line with the actual file. After converting text to the actual file, it is known as expanded source code. This obviously increases the length of the program because here we have one line of text, but preprocessor converts this text with the actual file. So this is why it is known as expanded source code. And all this work is completed before the compilation process begins. Note down this thing. After that, it will go to the compiler and compiler convert this code into the machine code. Now, what stdio.h means? Stdio.h means standard input and output file with .h extension. .h extension simply means this is a header file, or you can say library. Now, what is a header file? A header file is a container or a box where some C code is already written and it is ready to use for us. We don't need to write everything from scratch ourselves. This obviously makes the development process faster and easier because we don't need to write everything from scratch ourselves. Like stdio.h header file contains predefined functions like printf and scanf. Printf function is used to print anything in the console window, and scanf function is used to take user input at the runtime using the keyboard. You will see in a moment how you can use printf function in your program. Now, int main, round bracket, curly braces, open and close, return 0. Before explaining you what does it really means, let me give you a brief idea about the function and syntax of defining a function in C program. Whatever you code write in C program, it always consists of C function. C function is a set of statements that is made to solve a particular problem. Syntax of defining a function in a C program look like this. return 0, function name, inside the parentheses we have some parameter list. This open and close round bracket are called as parentheses, and that is followed by the curly bracket. And inside the curly bracket we have some set of code, that is the actual code that this function will execute. In our example, return type of this function is int. Int is the short name of integer. It indicates that after execution all the statement return some integer value. You can see in the last line we simply write return 0 semicolon. It simply means if our function executes successfully, then return 0 and exit from the function. Else if something goes wrong, it will return some other integer rather than 0. Note: main function is a special function in every C program because it is the entry point of execution of any C program. Or you can say this is the entry pass of every C program for the execution of the program. This is enough to know about function for now. We will talk about function in detail later in the upcoming lecture. Next we write printf function that has one parameter which is enclosed with the double quote. Using printf function you are able to print anything on the monitor. If you see carefully, we do not have put any curly braces after the printf function. The reason behind this function is predefined already somewhere in the standard library or stdio.h header file. And here we simply call the function. Note, everything is as it is when we call a function, but the main difference is when we call a function, we put a semicolon at the end of the function and don't put any curly braces after that. Now let's save and run the code. You can see the output is printed, which is hello world without the double quote. The reason behind this double quote is just tell the compiler that you are going to print a string, but the value is printed is between the double quote. That's why we see hello world printed. I hope this lecture is helpful for you. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye bye.